It's the last day of Craft Utopia, and we started it off with a breakfast of pastries. They look after us so good here at Craft Utopia. We want to thank Jenny and Tim and the whole team at the Collins Group for putting on such an amazing event. You guys absolutely rocked it. Yesterday, I didn't get a chance to show you any of the projects on the table, so today I really wanted to try to show you some, and I didn't get to show you very many, but I have got them all with me. So when we get home, we're going to do a whole bunch of videos of all the fabulous projects our design team made. That was Liddell's Mix and Make journal she's made with all of our beautiful pigment powders, and this is also another Liddell project. She has made this gorgeous little album. She's actually cut up and reconfigured one of our new albums releasing in July. She's so clever. I love how her creative brain works. And these are some of the Slimline Fold Out albums with Dear Diary. And this one here is a brand new album that's releasing in July using with the Dear Diary collection. So this is a new flip folio album. It's our gated flip folio album, and that one will work with the same dies you already have for your flip folio albums. And just a few cute little cards with our retailers exclusive Mint and Mistletoe. So I really want you guys to go out and support your local retailers and buy Mint and Mistletoe because they've ordered it up big and it's beautiful and you guys are going to love it. I just want to take the time now to thank all of the retailers that have supported our business and helped us grow. We had a competition running at the event, and this is Michelle from I Scrap On, and she got to have $100 off of her uniquely creative order. So all the vendors did this. There was draws all through the show. I also want to say thank you to my staff, not only Ashley and Sharon who came and did the work on the showroom floor because it is absolutely exhausting. We had try to have fun as well while we're here, but we work really hard, like long days. Some days like we're working 12, 13 hours. But the girls back in the warehouse too, because we're taking all these orders and we've taken like 65 orders at this show. Someone has to pack those orders, and it's the team back in the warehouse that are doing all of the hard work, and they don't get to have the fun stuff on the strip at the end of the day. So I just want to say thank you to them. Whilst everybody is packing down in the chaos, Sharon is literally still sitting here putting orders in while we're pulling down the show. And that brings me to Peter and Pearl. These two are troopers. They come on these events with us. They talk, they help out, they take videos, they take photos, they pack up, they pack down, they sit around, and they do so much. So, as a little reward and a treat, Peter actually booked us this helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon, and we are so excited for this. Last year, we actually drove out to the Grand Canyon, and it's about a 3.5 hour drive out there, and that was great. Don't get me wrong, we loved it. The Grand Canyon, spectacular. Like, it's nothing you'll ever see. It's definitely one of the wonders of the world. But this time we were going to see it by air. And we are fully excited for this. Pearl's first time in a helicopter, and she can really feel the sense of how small we are. When you get up in a helicopter like this and you get really high and you're out in the Grand Canyon, you just feel like a tiny little ant, like minuscule. The world is so big out there. So it takes about 45 minutes to fly from the strip out to the Grand Canyon. The little airport is just behind our hotel, actually. It didn't take us very long to get there at all. So we were buckling in for a long ride. But our pilot, Alex, was so informative. He just taught us all these things from the sky, and we learned so much about the river system and the geography and the mountain ranges right before we flew past our first place of interest, which was the Hoover Dam. Now, we went out to see the Hoover Dam on land last time when we were here, and this place is incredible. Everything is such large scale, and this time we got to see it from the air. So the Hoover Dam is not only their water source here in Vegas, it is also their major power supply as well. So really interesting to see that from the sky. We then flew over more mountain ranges till we head out to Lake Mead. Now, Lake Mead is a massive body of water. In fact, it's so surreal seeing how much water is actually out here being in the middle of the desert. Now, all this water comes from the Rocky Mountains, a bit like our snowy mountains in Australia. All the snow melts in the Rocky Mountains and then comes into this lake system. Now, see this little area here where these roads are? That's actually where they filmed that final scene in Thelma and Louise. Quite interesting. And they used that to practice landing aircrafts on in the First World War. So they would practice landing on there so that they would be able to land on the ships out in the sea. Now, this is our first look at the Grand Canyon from the sky, and it is just as spectacular as we remember. And seeing it so close like this, flying in above and around the cliffs, was amazing. Now, on this tour, we actually get to land into the Grand Canyon and we get about 30 minutes on the ground, and they bring us a little picnic, some like chips and cheese. And if you want, you can have some champagne, but we don't drink alcohol. And I really wasn't feeling that great coming in because it was quite hot and it was a really quite turbulent. But boy, was it absolutely spectacular down in the canyon. We got to walk around and take photos, and it was quite hot still. I think it was around 38 degrees still when we were here around 7:30 at night. So it was quite warm. The video is a little deceptive. It looks like you're right on the edge of the cliff and you're going to fall off the edge, but it's not. Like there's another small edge and then there's another small edge going down. So Pearl was very keen to go over and throw some rocks off the edge of the cliff. So although it looks like she's running towards the edge of the cliff here and it looks like I should be freaking out, she was actually quite safe, and there was nothing to worry about. But at first I was like, stay away from the edge, Pearl. But yeah, no, she was fine and she could throw some rocks off into the canyon, which was a whole bunch of fun. And then Peter thought he needed to get in on the act too because this looked like a bunch of fun, and he came and had a go as well. And they were trying to get it down off the second ledge there, and I don't think they quite made it, but they had fun doing it. One thing I found really fascinating was how many helicopters were out there. And Alex, our pilot, told us that there could be up to 90 helicopters in the canyon at any one time. In fact, the company we went with had 40 helicopters of their own because my business brain can't stop calculating how much it would cost to run a business like this. Like the fuel alone is $1,000 for each trip. So they really need to fill all 7 seats in this helicopter to make it justifiable. And I asked how much one of these helicopters cost. The one we were in, $5 million, like crazy. So how are they paying off 40 of them is beyond me, but it must be a successful business taking people out of the canyon just like us who really want to experience how absolutely glorious it is. Now we thought the sun had set because we were in the canyon. The second we got up above the canyon, we were in the sun. So we were flying back into that sun for about 30 minutes, but gee, it made for spectacular scenery. The sun reflecting on Lake Mead there, it was just glorious. That golden hour glow from the sky was worth every cent that we had to save for this trip.